What up, y'all? It's your boy M-phamis, bring home in for welcome back. Hey guys, remember when I recapped like the Fantastic Four First Steps movie? And I did told you that there was like a little tie-in comic book that Marvel kind of made to like, like to promote the film and to like give us like a more like backstory of like the Fantastic Four. I thought it would be a good idea to actually get my 2 cents on this, and I actually read this whole thing like twice already. And it's a really good book, man. Make sure to subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check me out doing art. Links to everything down below. And guys, if you want to get like my videos like before they ever hit YouTube, head over to my Patreon page. What's Patreon? Patreon is a website where you can basically like support your favorite content creator. By supporting them, you can like get special perks and benefits, like let's say behind the scenes videos, requests for like future videos, also early like access to my videos before like they ever hit YouTube. So on the first page of like the book, we pretty much like got like a little bit of like a narration box, pretty much explaining everything about like how they are. Dr. Reed Richards, Commander, PhD in Astrophysics, Engineering and Mathematics. Ben Graham, Tyler, Commander, USAF. Dr. Sue Storm, Mission Specialist, PhD in Archaeology. Jonathan, Johnny Storm, Flight Engineer, Eagle Scout, BSA. Okay, wow, now that's a very interesting take. So, still some sort of like mission specialist? Well, I mean, that kind of would explain like how she managed to like handle like the whole stressful situation with like the whole the whole Galactus thing. That would actually make sense. And that would imply in this universe that like Sue and Johnny kind of were like in the military at least. I mean, Ben, he's obviously in the military, obviously. And we also see that they're in the White House, and in the White House, there's 2 people. One woman wearing like a pink dress with a pink hat, and another dude like right behind her. That would be former President JFK and his wife Jackie Kennedy. And it makes sense like why they like put them like in this book though. Because again, like it's supposed to take place in like New York, like in an alternate reality where pretty much like everything was the 60s. I mean, it does make sense to like include them in there for like historical accuracy though, I guess. Because I mean, after all, JFK was president during that time. Then we get to see like their rocket going into space, which is pretty nice. Okay, in the second page, bro. Okay, Marvel, they need to stop playing with this here, because like this, they saying that they've been bombarded with celestial radiation. Hold on, I thought in this universe like there's no like other superheroes, but they did say like no other heroes like Iron Man, like the X-Men, or any other characters like that. So there's like possibility like in this universe, like Tiamat from the Eternals movie, the Celestial that kind of like is buried within the Earth could still be there in this universe. Okay, in the bottom page, bro. Okay, bro, the way that they designed like Sue like going invisible, it definitely does like pay homage to like Jack Kirby's like design and everything else, and like kind of like how like they depict like Sue becoming invisible. I mean, Sue's invisibility has been depicted in many different ways though. After that, we kind of got introduced to like where like the Fantastic Four were like after they landed. They pretty much had to quarantine themselves to like make sure like the cosmic radiation don't spread out to everybody and get sick. The place that they're hiding out at is called like Rocket City, USA. And okay, I did look this up and see if like there's actually like a real place. And it turns out like Rocket City is pretty much a nickname for like Huntsville, Alabama. Huntsville, Alabama is well known for like the town or city is well known for developing rockets during the Cold War. And it actually does make sense to like include that in the comic books. Because I mean, after all, like the whole origins of the Fantastic Four is that they're kind of like space astronauts that kind of like went up in space and got affected with cosmic rays. That was actually a smart idea to actually include that as well. Then we get to like see the Fantastic Four like still in quarantine and still celesting. Johnny and Ben are like super aggravated about like being like cooped up all day and like how it sucks to like be inside. If you guys like look a little closer though, you see like Ben like punching like some sort of like Kirby prototype. This prototype is called Kirby. It's an acronym standing for like Kinetic Type Experimental Robot Biometrics Integrated Electronics. Now that's like a nice little like subtle nod to like Jack Kirby instead of like Kirby, spelling it like that. They kind of spell it like that. Honestly though, that's pretty creative. I'm not gonna lie. That's really creative. Then we get to see like Ben and Johnny kind of like fight it out because like they're mad at each other because like Ben kind of like was telling Johnny, hey, at least you get to like turn back to normal. I'm stuck like this permanently, man. And they start like fighting. Reed did like try to try to like get like Ben like Johnny to stop. He tried like use power to like hold him like back together, because that wasn't working. While Reed was trying to like calm like Ben and Johnny down, Sue noticed that there's something on the monitor and tried to like tell everyone, hey, guys, you need to stop this. And they still kept fighting. Then Sue kind of like had enough and pretty much like wrapped a force field around their heads to like get them stopped. And pretty much like Sue pretty much showed them like the monitor, like showing them that Moment is running amok and causing chaos. Then Ben pretty much told Reed, buddy, I think it's time for us to like really get out there and help people for real. Okay, then we get to see them like in the like their original suits from the 60s and like their original like flying Fantastic car. I mean, from what I remember, I think like the first time we actually hear about the Fantastic Car was in issue 3 in like the 1960s when like Stan Lee and Jack Kirby was creating the Fantastic Car. Honestly though, the Fantastic Car had many different designs over the years, like depending on which iteration did you read on them. Anywho, we get to like see them like arrive, pretty much like being like shadowed by the press, and pretty much like them like looking at the like hole in the ground. Then like the monster kind of like pops up, and like again, like this is kind of like a callback to like what was it, like in the movie where like pretty much like during like the whole like montage of the Fantastic Four signal, like the giant being heroes and stuff. We actually get to see them like actually fight that monster for real though. And like what was it, Ben pretty much like rushed in and said it's clobbering time. Bro, that was like the first time he actually said that. And Johnny was kind of like making fun of him for him saying that. And pretty much he says that kind of phrase flame on. And we get to like see them like actually they take on the superhero names, the Human Torch, the Thing, Mr. Fantastic, and the Invisible Woman. Then we see that Sue managed to like defeat like the giant monster by like creating an invisible force field around like his face, and pretty much causing it to like pretty much like suffocate itself to death, or probably knock it unconscious at least. After that, the Fantastic Four looked down that hole and pretty much went and jumped down there. Then we got like a little backstory to like the Mole Man. Like he was on TV like some time ago and pretty much like warning like everyone in the surface world, like you guys gotta need to like stop your construction, otherwise Subterranean will retaliate. And pretty much that was it. The Fantastic Four pretty much showed up to like the Pan Am building. That moment kind of like sunk into the ground, which is like again something that happened in the movie where pretty much the Pan Am building pretty much sunk down, and pretty much Moment was like holding him hostage. Then the Fantastic Four pretty much showed up and pretty much like fight the Subterraneans. Still did like imprison some sort of woman in a force field, but it was a pregnant woman, and pretty much like what was it? Moment basically surrendered himself to protect her because I think that's really his wife or like I guess the mother of his child, I guess, and he wanted to protect her. So he pretty much told the Fantastic Four, "I'll give up if you let the woman go." They let the pregnant woman go, and after the Fantastic Four like captured Moment and left, Ben was talking to Reed about like that woman being preggo and how she's fighting like that. And Reed pretty much told Ben, like, a pregnant woman fighting like this, that's preposterous and stupid. Oh, Reed is gonna regret that because, I mean, again, like I said, if you guys watch the movie, pretty much, like, Sue's been, like, fighting, like, well, the Silver Surfer while she was freaking pregnant like that. So, isn't that funny? Then we get, like, Mole Man and Sue pretty much talking. It turns out, like, Mole Man used to study under, like, Sue's granddad or someone else that is related to her. And I guess they somewhat like know each other. Pretty much Moment was talking about like how her granddad or whoever a relative was kind of like taught him to like organize the protest. Then Sue pretty much like talked to him about like what can we do to make Subterranean and the rest of the world like, coexist and get along. Then Moment pretty much told him like, hey, I want sovereignty for my people. I want to be like, I guess like internationally recognized as like a sovereign state. After they pretty much like went to like this future foundation or I guess the what's it called again, the United Nations. They got like the Subterranean be recognized as a sovereign nation. The Fantastic Four pretty much helped rebuild Subterranean, and we get to like see them like having dinner with the baby, and the rest was history. Then we got like the end of the page where we see them in like their Fantastic Four movie costume, and it says Days Fantastic True Believers, and it says Excelsior. If you guys are like don't know or don't remember, Excelsior was pretty much Stan Lee's catchphrase, and it's also like the motto of New York as well. I mean, well, motto of New York, I mean. And that was pretty much it. Okay, overall opinion about this book, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I really did enjoy reading this, I'm not gonna lie. It definitely gives me that feeling like I'm reading Stan Lee's and Jack Kirby's original work from the 60s. It does. I mean, I know that this is supposed to be a different take on the Fantastic Four, and so far, I'm down with it. I like it. I like this book, man. Honestly though, Marvel should keep making more of these, honestly though. In my personal opinion, man, I would kill for for Marvel to keep making more of these at least. At least I don't know, some to I don't know. I guess kind of fill in the gaps between what happened in the again in the first issue all the way up to the movie. This book definitely did a good job paying homage to Jack Kirby. I'm just saying with the whole Kirby robot, that was pretty good though. But like I said, they should definitely make more Fantastic Four First Steps comics to again fill in the gaps between the first issue to the movie. Alright, y'all, like, share, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check me out here on Earth. The link to everything is down below. And guys, if you want to get my videos before they ever hit YouTube, head over to my Patreon page.